casa mais linda, mais cheia de graça, ela menina passa, doce balanço, caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado, do sol de Ipanema, o seu balançado.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Brain on Air with you, Ollie Vogt Larson. It's so nice to be with you all today. Welcome back. We're going to give you the rundown of the day, the usual news. It is a beautiful Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, a beautiful happy birthday to my sister. Happy October 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful day for me. I hope it's a beautiful day for you. Honestly, there's way too much to talk about today, so I think I'm just going to jump right into it for you so we can not waste any more time. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you are also a fan of Maxwell House, the coffee brand, but apparently it's not going to be that anymore. Maxwell House, the classic coffee brand, is rebranding on National Coffee Day to Maxwell Apartment. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Maxwell House, the 133-year-old coffee brand, recently launched a bold and temporary rebranding campaign, changing its name to Maxwell Apartment to reflect modern economic realities, particularly the housing crisis and rising cost of living. So that is the state that we have reached. We are at a point where not even the things that were supposed to inspire us, not even the idea of owning a house is accessible anymore. You need to pay premium in order to get Maxwell House. I'm just kidding. They are going full into this whole dumb apartment shtick. They're like, okay, so since you're never going to own a home, this is, by the way, such a statement on where we are as a country and as a people, that a coffee brand is going, listen, we're not even going to offer these people the dream of owning a home. We're going to sell them the reality that they are stuck in a 12-month lease they don't want to be in with a landlord that treats them like shit, that doesn't let them have a fucking something as simple as a bird feeder on their balcony. No, actually, we can't have that because it actually violates the lease as it attracts critters. Fuck you, you fucking loser piece of shit. I swear to God, oh my God. There's no need for us to have all of these rules. You know what I mean? It's like living in an HOA. I swear to God. I thought you had to pay premium to have rules like that. I thought that was the rule. I thought that like you have to own your house in order for them to shit all over you like that. You know what I mean? I thought that was the cost of owning a house. Whatever. Anyways. The move is part of a clever marketing strategy to connect with younger, budget-conscious consumers who are more likely to rent apartments than own homes. By the way, they are not any more likely to pick Maxwell House because that's the shit that their grandma's been drinking. By the way, everybody calls Folgers the old person brand. It's not Folgers anymore. It's Maxwell House. It always has been. That's what the boomers and the Gen Xers are drinking. I'm sorry. Folgers has been fully adopted by the millennials after the Dalgona coffee bullshit during COVID. They completely adopted it. That instant coffee bullshit. They're obsessed with it. Alongside the name change, Maxwell is offering 12-month lease of coffee. Essentially a bundle priced under $40 on Amazon. So, Jesus Christ. So this is an opportunity for us to go look at this. We are going to essentially offer you this. This is an opportunity. We are going to make a joke. We're going to laugh at your expense because you're the fuckers who are not able to actually buy homes. The people, by the way, that put together this marketing strategy are sitting in their homes at night going, this is really going to appeal to the modern audience. The Maxwell Apartment rebrand is really going to make people feel heard because they're going to be like, man, I really feel heard by the brand that is like, man, the whole vision of owning a home is out of reach for you. So you can live where you really belong with your 6 kids packed in a little thing called, Green Arrow Heights or some shit in South Fargo. Whatever, it's fine. Which they claim is enough to cover a year's worth of homebrewed coffee. Honestly, by the way, with half of the people they're selling this to, it covers less than that, by the way, because it's being shared by a family, so that's going to cover maybe 3 months. The rebrand is deliberately timed around National Coffee Day, September 29th, and is intended to spark conversation while driving home the brand's message of affordability. Yeah, that's exactly what people are feeling. They're feeling a message of affordability. By the way, how much is Maxwell House? I'm going to keep calling it that because that's what it is. Maxwell House, the last time I was at Hornbacher's, and the last time I was at Aldi's, I don't even think Aldi's carries it. The last time I was at Hornbacher's, this shit was, by the way, $6 for the instant. And it was, I can't remember how much for the grounds, but it's a ridiculous, it's not affordable. You're still better off getting like shit Folgers, which is low quality, but it's still better. Alright, though the coffee itself hasn't changed, the packaging now features Maxwell Apartment in the place of the traditional name. The position itself is humorous and a self-aware commentary on the economic hardship. Whatever. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Anyways, it's a media stunt. It's meant to gain a lot of online buzz. It's meant to make it more talked about during the fall, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it's not going to do. But it's such a major story, by the way, that ABC 10, we're going to drop this, because this lady, by the way, this is such a insane story, this is such a stupid move on the part of this company, that Fact or Fiction on ABC 10 had to cover this shit. Look at this.
Tonight we're looking into a story many people think is a joke. It claims Maxwell House Coffee is rebranding itself as Maxwell Apartment. This is actually true. In a press release, the company says it's temporarily rebranding to meet the needs of...
By the way, can you imagine being so dumb you need ABC News to go on Fact or Fiction to tell you if something is true or not? You can't do your own research. You can't... Okay, anyways.
Consumers. For $40, the Maxwell Apartment bundle includes 4 27-ounce canisters of coffee designed to last a whole year.
Four 27-ounce things, that's going to last, like I said, maybe 3 months.
The company is calling it a 12-month lease.
These people don't understand families the way that they claim they do.
Of its coffee to help people in these tough economic times. The coffee is only available on Amazon and it's currently sold out. Regular Maxwell House.
Dumb. If you spend your money on this, you're dumb. I'm sorry. It's really stupid. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think that it's good for the economy. I don't think it's good for America. I don't think that we should lean into the idea that our larger companies are gonna look us in the face and go, yeah, we're going to mock you for the economic situation. We're gonna say that we're helping you, and then we're gonna spit in your face. We're not gonna. Why is everybody giggling at this? These are the same people, by the way, the same people that are going to have this in their house are the same fuckers that are supporting Luigi Mangione, that psycho. Those are the same people, the people that are going, we need extreme radical positions in order to make billionaires scared again. They're going to be the ones that are going, we need Maxwell Apartment, because these people understand the plight of everyday Americans. Anyways, moving on. This is just kind of a dumb situation. I wanted to confirm for you, yes, it is real. Israel. See, they keep coming up. How do they just keep coming up? The Great Noticing. I'm just kidding. Next story. Trump is at it again, like he normally is. I love him because he's always got something interesting that I can throw into every episode. Trump posted a bizarre AI video to the tune of Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. You know what? We're just going to take a quick look at this. Because, okay, can we play it? I think we can play it. The Independent... They have 1.13 million subscribers, and they played it. Here. Yeah, you can barely... So there's like a Grim Reaper figure walking up, and then Trump is banging a cowbell with a bunch of guys in the background. He's also in a Grim Reaper costume. And then Russ Vought, by the way, not related to me, Russ Vought, the Project 2025 gentleman, literally the former Office of Management and Budget Director linked to Project 2025. He's in this video. Russ Vought, I'm not related to him in any way, I promise you. Vought, spelled more like Voight. But this video is just very bizarre. It's got a man in a sombrero on the wall in these frames. Chuck Schumer. I think that's Nancy Pelosi. I think that's Maxine Waters. No, I don't know. I'm looking in the background, but there's a Grim Reaper walking up. Here the power is gone. Yeah, and then JD Vance is rocking the drums. Russ Vought is the Reaper. He wields the pen, the funds, and the brain. Here comes the Reaper. Dems you babies. Here comes the Reaper. Gonna tie your hands. Here comes the Reaper. You won't be able to fly, here comes the Reaper. By the way, this is unironically a really good song. This is a really, really good song on its own. And then there's, like, you know, Democrats talking about the shutdown. I'm guessing that this is something someone sent him, by the way. And then he was like, fucking A, yeah, let's share this shit. Okay. Okay, so it is, yeah. I think that was literally the person's logo at the very end. I will link this in the description. This is wonderful. You know, what do you expect? I'm honestly asking you. I'm asking you. What do you expect from him? He's going to tell you, you know, that you get AI videos and jokes. You get joke tweets. We got tweeted at from him from the last time that he was in the White House. I don't understand why people are expecting absolute professionalism this time. It's not going to be any different. You know, I'm not surprised, and neither should you be. I like the video actually because I like the song. The song is really good. And I think it was good. Overall, it was pretty good. Today, he posted this. It's to the tune of that song, which I can't play. The clip, if you can't watch it, I understand if you can't go to the description. It shows Trump playing the cowbell and J.D. Vance rocking the drums with skeletons like in the background all over. And it's really surreal, and it's just like it's like dramatic. And I think it's meant to be like a interpretation of their sweeping kind of like dark shadow over Washington, where they're going to do all these government cuts, and then the funding and the spending. They're having this whole standoff. That's why we're in a shutdown. You know, the Democrats, I'm sure, are not going to have any positive reaction to it, nor should they. This is really. I'm just going to say this. AI has not made Trump's bullshit tweeting any better. It's actually made it significantly worse. It's made it significantly harder to ignore. And it's made him, I'm not even going to lie, a little bit funnier because he has the help of computers. He has the help of computers that can construct situations and sentences that weren't really spoken and all of this stuff. I think that is only servicing to help him. That is only going to continue to help him in this future election because it is... if he keeps these videos up, what's the next one going to be? He's going to do, like, Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic. And it's going to be him going around, like, shoving bills in Democrats' face, like, they're down their throats, and he's like, eat it, get yourself a bill and sign it. I don't know. He, like, mixes up the lyrics or some shit. I'm freaked out, and I'm excited for what his next drop is going to be. By the way, you want to speak of really good drops? Diddy is back, ladies and gentlemen. As we all know, he was only found guilty on a few of the charges. They were not able to hit him on the major ones. As a result, his sentencing is going to be predictably pretty light. I predict less than 5 years if there's going to be any sort of probation. They got him on the prostitution and such. I really think that this is going to be a light sentencing. And I think for the sake of all that is good, he's going to be back in the studio and he's going to have a nice, by the way, summer 2026, we got so much shit coming up, but he is going to have the summer yacht album of the century. I promise you that. This is the time when people do their best work. I promise you, when he gets out of that courtroom, he is going to go, listen, I have less money, so now I have no problems. So now I'm going to get in that studio. I'm going to make the best stuff that I've ever made. It's going to be like Roman Polanski after they finally get all those charges off of him and he can come back to Hollywood and make magic again. Anyways, if you haven't heard, before his sentencing, Sean Diddy Combs' legal team dropped a roughly almost 12-minute, it is more like 11 minutes, 11:30 something seconds video, tribute aimed at the judge, portraying Diddy as just this loving father. He's a committed philanthropist. He's a Wayne. He's a Mr. Wayne. He's a Bruce Wayne, and a figure he's kind of like a movie character where he's faced so much personal tragedy, and he's like, I'm gonna overcome and I'm gonna succeed as a result. The video stitches together home video clips of him with his children, footage of him running marathons, engaging in community work, and reflections on his loss, including the death of his ex Kim Porter. All right, well, the intention is clearly to humanize him, bolster his image, and frame him his life in a light of redemption rather than focusing on the criminal convictions. Honestly, the judge in the sentencing, all he's looking at here is just a guy who made a mistake, who maybe didn't want to do the prostitution thing. You don't know. However, critics note that the video omits mention of his crimes and offers no explicit remorse for them, raising the concerns that it might be seen as dramatic PR play rather than a sincere appeal. Well, you know what, guys? There's no other way for us to know other than to watch it ourselves. Let's take a look. Sean Combs. This is via Court TV. There's his kid, I think. There's him with his kids. 2 daughters. You mean something to people. Oh, he's playing with puppets now? I forgot he worked on Sesame Street. Whoa, look at those glasses. He's got 2 baby girls. He's hanging out with a bunch of people. Dude, this is what people release, by the way. This is the shit you release before you run for, like local senate. This is not something that you release right before a prostitution conviction. You do a... By the way, how shitty of a public speaker does he have to be for his lawyers to go to him and go, yeah, no, we're going to have to put together a well-edited, well-produced video from secondhand sources that'll make him look better than anything that this guy's going to throw together. Because, by the way, he's an amazing musical talent. I don't think anybody will argue that. Him and R. Kelly alike. They're incredible musical talents, but how shitty of a public speaker. Donald Trump probably could get off of these charges, and he's like, he just lets his mouth just go. How bad of a public speaker does he have to be for his lawyers to go, yep, we're throwing this video out, rather than, I don't know, having him read a paragraph about how sorry he is to the judge. Continuing. He's playing with his daughter on the beach in the sand. He's sitting in like a tub with a bunch of people. He's sitting in like this. No, it's not a tub. It's like a part of like a marsh in a river. It's like this weird African, like what's it called? It looks like he's in the Sahara with all of this getup. What is it going on?
They make you want to do better.
He's mixing music in the studio.
And he made me feel like I could do anything and go anywhere.
He did. He made me feel like that. Dude, look at him. Look at that shot of New York. I love the children of New York. This is like when Michael Jackson was getting off back in the 90s. Like when he had his, that whole mix-up with the kids situation, when he was having his whole issues, he was doing the same kind of like, I'm just going to be I'm going to focus on the good that I do. I'm just going to talk about all the good that I do. And why are you talking about the children of New York? What do you have to do with the children of New York?
Get my generation in the hip-hop community behind us. They come through in a big way. And we want to raise
the hip-hop community, yeah, you kill people in the hip-hop community, allegedly. Your former rival, what's it called? Tupac, P. Diddy. What do you have to say for that, Mr. Sir?
The health and education. We have a huge education crisis.
Huge education crisis.
This is just a start. It's something we're
Just
going
a
to be
start.
committed to. I'm going to be committed to for a lifetime.
By the way, this is going to be the OJ of our time. He is going to get off so lightly.
And it's no
By the way, I'm so bored of this, and I'm sure you are too, that I'm going to link this into the description if you would like to watch it for yourself, and I'm going to do us a favor, and I'm going to put it on 1.5 speed, just to get through this quicker.
Take it to the streets. It's a beautiful city. Running all around the city. It's gonna be
Beautiful
painful.
city.
It's gonna be rough, but if we get through it, then it's your kids and everybody else that finish what you started. You can do anything, put your mind to it.
Finish what you start.
Raise money for your schools.
Raise money for your schools.
I feel like it's important to us,
Okay, I'm skipping more.
So, go. Let's understand what it's gonna take to achieve that dream. That's why instead of talking about the guns and the violence, I was always talking about a better life. places we never go before.
Talking about better life.
Cars we never drove, houses we never lived in.
Houses we never lived in.
Aspiration in hip hop. Trying to take it out of just being street. Oh, so that was a fantasy and a dream that I always felt would come true.
What the fuck?
I started out just like you guys. I come from New York. I grew up in Harlem.
I grew up in Harlem.
Every day. Had to get up early in the morning, had to travel and go to school. I worked hard, just like you guys are working. This country.
Yeah, you worked real hard, buddy.
They have plan for y'all.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I see the appeal. You know, I'm like, okay, I think I believe him 100%. I don't know if he did anything. I think that he's exonerated 100%. I think that he is very much in the right. What else is there to say, guys? I mean, tell me honestly, what else do you want? Would you rather he go back into a cell and rot for the rest of his life, probably learn nothing, and then, well, not, by the way, he will not go into a cell for the rest of his life. He will go to jail. If they got him on these charges, he would have only went to jail for maybe at worst 10 years. At worst. He has really good lawyers, you guys. Get real. So, would you rather he rot in jail for 10 years, miss his kids growing up, and, like, come out as an old man, and, like, all of his musical talent is drained by then, so what does he have to offer to society except for just being that old man who learned his lesson and, like, lives down the block from you and is on a watch list? Or would you rather he get out now, be a normal functioning criminal like all normal celebrities? By the way, it's every other celebrity. You think that he was the only one? He's just the one that we caught. He's just the one where we found the baby oil, ladies and gentlemen. You think Lady Gaga is any different? Think about it. I promise you, you look at a CD that your mom has in her Ford, in her Ford something, in her Ford F-150, in her Escalade. I promise you, that person is probably up to something that your mom would not approve of. But she loves their music, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do with Diddy. Is we're going to give him a light sentence. We're gonna give him a little slap on the wrist. We're going to give him a little gentle tap, and then he's going to go back to making magic in the studio, and we're all going to be grateful for the fact that he's learned his lesson, I think. If he keeps flying to, Bermuda for reasons unknown, who are we to ask? You know what I mean? The public doesn't deserve honesty. Do we deserve honesty? You know what I mean? Apparently not. That's just, I want to leave on a good note. I want to leave on a really nice one, actually. I would like to say that Florida, you're going to be the land that I leave on this episode, because Florida had some recent incidents. Well, not incidents, actually. It's been going pretty normal, but essentially, if you don't know, in preparation for GTA 6, which will release, I don't know, 2038, something like that. It's going to get delayed to 2027 at the minimum. On September 10th, 2025, a 3-judge panel of Florida's 1st District Court of Appeals struck down Florida's long-standing ban on openly carrying firearms, ruling that it is in violation of the United States Second Amendment. The court held that there was no significant historical tradition to justify a complete prohibition on the open carry, and that the state's blanket ban was inconsistent with the recent Supreme Court precedent. Because no other appellate district, I can't read, I'm sorry, had addressed the issue, the decision is now being treated as a binding on lower courts statewide. So essentially, people are carrying, if you have a license to carry in the state of Florida, people are carrying their weapons in the streets, people are walking around with, they're being strapped up. Guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a Second Amendment absolutist in the sense where I believe that everybody has a right to own a firearm. I believe everybody has if you do not have significant mental illness, I think that you should absolutely be tested for significant mental illness. I believe, though, that every person has a right to own a firearm to some extent, unless you've also committed... there's restrictions, obviously. Everybody is entitled to it, though. It is an essential binding right that every person who is of sound mind and body has a weapon to defend themselves, because that's just the sort of country we live in. We and by the way... the moment you take away the guns, it is going to switch from gun crime to knife crime. I promise you, it is going to switch from this crime to another sort of crime. Taking away the guns is never going to be the solution. I promise you that letting people keep their semi-automatic rifles, which, by the way, are significantly not the advanced amount of shooting situations where these high automatic, semi-automatic rifles are being used. That's not the case. The majority are handgun violence, and also like one-on-one, on the street level violence. If we want to talk honestly, I'm in favor of people carrying their guns. You know what I mean? But like, on their way to Applebee's, on their way to IHOP, it seems like a bit much. Even me as a person where I'm getting NRA certified, I'm getting ready to get my concealed carry. I personally am in favor of owning guns, and I'm going to own guns very, very, very soon, actually, because I just think that it's a good idea as an adult that you own something to defend yourself. I encourage that everybody, by the way, it's a good idea that every person gets to some degree familiar with firearms, because it's worse actually for you to be unfamiliar with firearms, because you're more likely to hurt yourself and others around you. You're more likely to accidentally point a barrel in the direction where one isn't supposed. My point is that I think that there is absolutely a place in this country for guns to be in the hands of their citizens. When you're walking through the mall, and when you're standing outside of the fitting room at Kohl's and your daughter is trying on some jeans, and you're like watching people walk by and you're like, get the fuck back. I don't know that is the country that I want to live in, nor the country that you want to live in. I'm in favor of concealed carry, absolutely. People, the videos you're seeing online, by the way, the videos everywhere that you're seeing, people are strapped up in the sense where they have guns strapped. They have this one man, this black gentleman, had an AK-47 without the stock, strapped along his his abdomen, and was walking around the streets and then got into a car. I'm not lying. These situations are really occurring because of this opening up of the laws. Okay, soon after, Florida Attorney General James Youthmeyer, I think it's Youthmeyer, I'm gonna assume, issued a guidance declaring that open carry laws of the state are open carry is law of the state, and directed law enforcement and prosecutors to stop enforcing the old prohibition. This is, they're really leaning in. The ruling went into effect after a 15-day period, making September 25th a key date, during which rehearsing or appeal could have been sought. Since then, local law enforcement agencies across Florida have begun adjusting their practices. But the shift is not absolute, in the sense where several important restrictions still remain in place. Open carry is not allowed everywhere. Firearms remain prohibited in sensitive locations such as schools, courthouses, polling places, correctional facilities, and certain parts of establishments that serve alcohol. Property owners, private business property people, they still retain the right to ban weapons on their premises. Someone carrying one who can refuse to take it off, they can be subject to an armed trespass charge. So that still remains in effect. The ruling affects lawful firearm owners only. Those already barred from possessing guns already remain prohibited. The court and the AG's guidance stress that reckless use or threatening uses of open carry are still punishable. In short, Florida's appeals court has invalidated the state's open carry ban. Jeez, I can barely speak because this has just got me so shaken. I think it's better that I just throw it to 10 Tampa Bay. I think that's important.
Starting us off this morning, Floridians can now legally carry firearms out in the open.
Yeah, it is deadline day for open carry following a landmark court ruling that struck down the state's decades-old ban. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Nick Valturo is live in St. Pete this morning. Nick, people may see more guns out in public today. I know this has been allowed technically, but today is the day that it all becomes official.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin Jameson, good morning.
He's in favor.
This is truly a win for gun advocates. And you're right, you're probably going to see a lot more people open carrying today, because today the open carry law officially goes into effect. And it's a major shift for Florida's gun policy, and it's truly changing the way that law enforcement operates statewide. But what...
By the way, this will not just be Florida. I promise you that. This will be probably, I'm guessing, eventually Texas might pick this up. I'm thinking that some other red states are going to pick this up pretty quick. Texas is a little more debatable because of the Democrat leaning places that they have. I think, though, that you're definitely going to see this in places where their values are freedom. Their values are deeply seated in freedom. I think that you're going to see this in Idaho. You're going to see this in the mountainy regions. You're going to see this in Kentucky. You might see this in, I'm just telling you the states to watch out for. Do I think that Minnesota will ever have anything like this? Probably not. North Dakota is a little bit more up for debate. That's a situation where I could see it going. It's a bit of a toss-up. Like, you could go either way right there. Anyways, I think that this has been a good rundown of the news of the day. It's been 4 topics rather than the usual 3. Plus, it's a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy your weekend as best that you can. This has been your Brain on Air with Ollie Vogt Larson. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will be back with you Monday. That's right, everybody. I'm coming at you weekdays now. I promise you that is the schedule that we're sticking with. That's what feels right. And plus, these honestly don't take too much of my time. So that's honestly where I'm going to leave it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Brain on Air with Ollie Vogt Larson. Thank you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. Ela, menina que vem, que passa, doce balanço caminho.